you're scoping social media for decor ideas, this is something you've probably seen. We're going to make a DIY honeycomb shelving, which is beautiful. So you see it out there and you think, oh, could I actually do that? Leigh-Ann, you made these and you did such a beautiful job. You're going to teach us how.
Well, and I made them quick.
Yeah.
And because really, we're talking about making one cut.
Okay.
And we're just going to make it over and over and over again. So I'm going to show you how to make them. But I spotted these in a store this past weekend for about $16 each.
Yes.
And I made 4 of them for that price.
Good.
So, and actually with a little more than 4. So really, if you're willing to put in a little bit of elbow grease, you can tackle a simple project like this and make a huge statement and make tons of them. I think like the more you do on a wall, you could even fasten these together and put some legs on them and have them as a really cool console. There's so much you could do with them.
Nice.
So it's really, really simple. I just used pine board, and you can get as wide a board as you want, so you can make them really nice and deep. I went a little more shallow, but about 1 inch is all the thickness that you would need. The one thing that you will need is a miter saw, because you're looking to make a 30-degree mitered angle. You just have to make this cut once, set it up, and then keep going. And I'm going to show you a little trick of how to do this.
Okay.
So when you have your miter saw set up, I currently have this at a 30-degree on my sliding miter. You'll notice I have a piece of tape here. So you measure out and decide how big you want these shelves. I went for about 7-inch length pieces. You put a piece of tape, and now every time you just butt your piece up to this and cut. And once you make that cut, you just flip the piece around, slide it, and cut it again. So literally, it's flip, cut to that tape line until you get a huge stack of these, and then 6 makes 1 shelf. It's super easy.
Now, of course, you have all of the right tools.
Yes.
Can you ask your hardware store to make these cuts for you, or is that getting to be a bit much?
They don't have miter saws.
They're not gonna miter.
have table saws and like larger, just to do chop cuts.
Yes.
But you can easily and affordably rent these for a weekend if you wanted to tackle this for a weekend project. So once you have these pieces made, it's really important how we fasten them together, because if they're going to be holding any weight, we want them to be secure. So wood glue is always key, but I like to pre-drill and screw them together. And the most important thing when we're pre-drilling, I'm going to put my little goggles on here, because if you notice here, it's on the angle. We actually want to drill on the angle as well. And the best way to do this is actually to drill straight down first and get a little bit of grip, and then start to angle it in.
Okay.
So now when we look, because we want the pieces to match up together, you want to pre-drill so you don't split the wood. If you try to go right in with the screw, this is going to split apart and you're going to be really frustrated. This will ensure great success for your project. Okay. So adding on a little dab of wood glue, I'm going to change my bit really quick here, and then these simply fasten together just like a puzzle. And you can lay these out on the ground first, which I would suggest, just to make sure that all of your cuts are really good. And essentially all you're going to be doing, I'll show the camera here, is layering over your angles. I like to pre-screw in the screws so you can see just a tiny little bit of the pointy part coming out, because that will help if you just squeeze it to fasten it in place, because this is otherwise really difficult to do with clamps.
Right.
And then I'm going to swing it this way.
Do you want me to be your clamp, or are you okay?
I think I should be okay.
Oh, you got it.
We'll fill one of them.
She's only done 5 million of these projects.
There you go. So you start to build out your full frame. And then you can do pretty much whatever you want with this. So you can add paint, you can add stain. I went for an American walnut stain color, but the one thing that I wanted to point out that I added in the wall that you probably noticed is the little vinyl decals in the back. Now, I'm a big fan of the peel and stick decals, and you can get sheets, as I did for the white, so big long sheets that you can cut out your honeycomb shapes, or you can also get in metallics. You can just imagine, so you can change the colors. And really, this is as simple as peeling and sticking these on. So you could actually go floor to ceiling. You can change the color schemes as often as you want, and just use a level when you're putting them on. But I like just the little touch of color in the background, because it almost has then that mid-century modern look. Where do we want to put this? How about right here?
I like it.
And it's literally a case of peeling and sticking, and if you don't like where it goes, you just take it off and try it again.
And that's not going to disrupt your paint at all?
Not at all. These suckers come right off when you're done with them. When you're over it, just rip them off and start again.
That is so good. Now, when it comes to actually hanging these to the wall, was that easy? Was that difficult?
Dun, da, da, da. I love the good segue. So you can pick up these little guys, which easily just hammer into the back. You can also do a hook system. Or when you have the magic of television, you can just put a couple of screws in the top to fasten it on if you're not putting anything too heavy on it. But I would suggest using some sort of anchor here for sure.
Yeah.
And these you can get in big packs. So if you're doing a lot of them, I had a pack of 36 of them for just a couple dollars. Make sure that those are going on, and using your wall anchors obviously as well when you're attaching them to the wall.
Okay.
But yes, safety first in
Safety
that situation.
first. That is such a great project. I actually love the stain that you used for that, Leigh-Ann. Nice work.